on the scooter scene and just disrupted everything with their Bernie scooter. Really sleek, sexy looking, and fun scooter. Well, NAMI has come out with a 10-inch scooter, the Klima, and this thing promises to be smaller, more affordable, but just as fun. Andrew, what do we have to expect?
Speeds up to 42 miles per hour, sine wave controllers, and adjustable suspension.
In this video, we're gonna unbox the scooter, set it up, take it for a test ride, and let you guys know what we think about it. So let's go ahead and get started.
Good packaging job. So it looks like NAMI has abandoned their sustainable packaging. It was a nightmare with their Bernie Max.
If you look back at our other videos, the original NAMIs came in the sustainable packaging that was sustainable for the environment, but not for the scooter, because it just the packaging just came shredded. But this looks like so far, it's the more traditional packaging, and so far everything's intact, everything's looking good. So the previous NAMI, the Bernie Max 2, they had this tubular frame. Here, we still have a tubular frame, but it's got these angular tubes. It adds a really nice touch.
And it's got some really good height. This is probably the tallest 10-inch tire scooter that I've seen.
To kind of go along with that whole industrial, futuristic look, we have the LEDs, and the LEDs are just exposed. Looking forward to see what that looks like when we turn them on. Just to expose them like that, I mean, it's pretty bold.
Really thick user manual. Thickest one I've ever seen with the electric scooter. I have a charger. This is a 5 amp output, 67.2 volts. It's a 60 volt scooter, 25 amp hours, so this should take 5 hours to charge from empty to full. That's pretty quick.
All right, how's the assembly coming?
It's coming along.
Any issues?
The stem cap, normally these sit in more flush, so it is raised a little bit. You can see there's a little bit of a gap. I like to see that designed a little bit better to go inside that steering pole. I feel like this is just 1 millimeter too big. This light came assembled on here, and it's caused some scratching, so I would like for them to put some type of rubber gasket just to prevent that scratching on a brand new scooter.
To be clear, we did not do that. That's how it came. This light was already attached, and because of some of the jostling that goes on during shipping, it kind of moved back and forth, and you can see where the coating has come off because of the rubbing. And if you're wondering about the big head back there, that's my son. He just graduated. We had that printed out for the graduation activities. It is really nice that it comes with such a big charger, right? Most scooters don't come with a charger this fast.
No, yeah, most scooters come with 1.75 or 2 amp chargers. So I do love that they have a 5 amp charger with the scooter. I think there's two versions. There's a 25 amp hour and a 30 amp hour version. We got the 30 amp hour version, so it should take 6 hours to charge from empty to full, but the 25 amp hour one will take 5 hours to charge. We have the Max version, which will pretty much let you ride as much as you want. If you've noticed something different about our garage, it's because we're still in the midst of cleaning this up. We're organizing all our tools, all our safety gear. And to top it off, my wife got me a little present. This is a tidbit, I think is what it's called. Thank you, honey, for the gift, and adds a nice touch to this garage. Oh, I'm putting on an axle nut cover. And this is really sweet. They have a hole that you put a screw through. We literally lose these on 50% of our electric scooters. They're just little rubber pieces that fit on top of the axle nuts, and they pop off real easily. With the way Andrew rides, jumping off things and dropping off things, they're inevitably they fall off. In this case, they're screw-on tight. And I don't know if you can hear the thunder, but it is windy and thundery outside. So it sounds like a storm's coming. We're gonna get this set up. We're gonna get it put together, charged, and then once the rain passes, we're gonna go take it for a ride. Okay, we've got the Klima all set up. Storm's coming in. So you're gonna hear some thunder while we're doing this, but let's do a walkthrough from top to bottom. One of the cool features that I noticed was there's an NFC card reader to turn it on. So that's pretty cool. So NFC card readers, something that I think all powerful scooters should have, some sort of key so you can lock it when you're away. So your kids or anyone thinking about stealing it will have to think twice. If you have a Samsung phone, you can program your phone to unlock and lock the scooter. LCD TFT color display. On the right side, you have the thumb throttle, which we've dealt with this before in the past. There is a little bit of a dead zone, so I wish they would fix that, but overall, it's not the worst thing. You see there's a dead zone. It doesn't move until you get about 1/3 of the way through the throw. We have Logan hydraulic brake levers. This is only connected to 2-piston hydraulic brakes. The NAMI Bernie Max 2 has 4-piston hydraulic brakes, so just be conscious of that. On the bottom you have a motorcycle grade horn, left and right turn signals.
So we were talking about this LED strip earlier, the fact that it's exposed, it doesn't have plastic covering. I think it's actually a really cool look. I do like it. And this LED strip is very durable.
Yeah, and the nice thing about it is if you do have any issues, it looks like it's pretty easy to replace the LED strip.
I just got an alert on my phone. It says we're about to have baseball-sized hail. So this is pretty exciting. We're gonna go ahead and wrap this up so Andrew can take off and then I can pull the cars in the garage.
Moving to the left side, we have the control module. You can adjust the settings, you can change all sorts of different things. That's one of my favorite things about NAMI. Right below the display, we have a 2000 lumen light.
And that's a bright light. This is a really bright light.
It's wide, but the vertical spread is a little bit lacking. Moving down the steering pole, we have the folding mechanism in front. This folding mechanism is different from the previous NAMI Burning Max 2 where it spun on there and then folded. This one is more like the Bronco Extreme motors where it's got these two adjustment knobs and it just latches in place. It doesn't lock into itself when folded, and I do like that the display doesn't get rammed into the kick plate. We see with a lot of these electric scooters, when folded, the display gets rammed into this and then ends up scratching it. There's no stem movement, but you'll see that because the suspension is flexing, there's some movement in there.
So all the movement is in the suspension down here, not at the joint where it folds. Sometimes people get confused. They say, hey, my stem's wobbling, that's not tight enough, but actually it's a suspension that's actually flexing. That is normal.
Speaking about suspension, it's C-type suspension with adjustable hydraulic suspension. All the way to the left is fast rebound. All the way to the right is slower rebound. If you're gonna be doing speed runs, you want it slow. If you're gonna be doing off-roading, you want it on fast. Moving down the steering pole, we have a 10x3" street tire with 140mm brake disc and 2-piston Logan hydraulic brakes.
What are these wires here?
This is for the speed control. This will cap it out at 30 kilometers. You wanna leave this undone if you're not in a regulated area. There's also the big motorcycle grade horn right behind those wires.
So these wires, if you connect them, will make you go slower.
Exactly. We have this quick release for the front motor so you can do easier tire changes. Right below that, we have this charge port, which looks completely different than what we've seen before. It's not the GX16 3-pin. It looks like a GX16 2-pin.
One of the cool features on this scooter is the charge port cover.
So let's measure some things too. The usable deck space is about 20 inches long, 8 inches wide. The deck height from the ground,
about 7.5 inches.
So pretty decent clearance. 27-inch wide handlebars. Deck height to the handlebars, 42 inches from the deck height to the handlebars. Nice sturdy kickstand on the side. Grip tape deck, really good for grip. They don't get dirty as easy as the silicone decks, but they're harder to clean. And then moving to the rear, adjustable suspension, the LED strip, a fender with the tire hugger, 2-piston Logan hydraulic brakes, dual 1,000-watt motors.
All right, we're gonna try to seek shelter or escape this baseball-sized hail that's on its way. So we're gonna plug this in, get it freshly charged for tomorrow. Hopefully when the storm will be over, we'll see you on the other side. All right, what's up guys? We have our safety gear on now. We are out riding on the Klima. Let's go do a high-speed test run while we still have a freshly charged battery. Okay, so one of the cool things about these personal electric vehicles is we're technically not vehicles that you need to register. So coming into the park back there, you had all those cars waiting to pay to get in. Not us. We just take the bike lane and we come in, or the sidewalk. And so another cool perk of enjoying these personal electric vehicles. All right, we're almost at our speed run place. Andrew, what are some of your initial impressions so far?
Really smooth. Sine wave controllers is the best thing for electric scooters. The smaller tires, you can definitely feel the bumps a little bit more than you can with the NAMI Burning Max 2, but that's expected just because they're smaller tires. These 10-inch tires, they have a really nice rounded profile, so they handle well when carving.
One thing I've noticed is as you've been doing these little bunny hops and as you've been going off some drops, is how solid this machine sounds. There's no rattling, there's no jangling. This thing sounds really well constructed. What do we have to expect when we get to our speed run location?
The stated max speed is 42 miles per hour. I feel like it's more. Oh wow, this is crazy.
Holy cow. So we have more damage from the water and the flooding. Check this out.
Custom built rim, thanks to the rain. We've got the draggy hooked up. We're gonna slow down the suspension damping.
You want slower suspension, for speed.
This is
That went well. It said 46 on the display, so we'll see kind of how accurate that is. Really smooth acceleration. This road's nice. 1, 2, 3, 19. It says 43 miles per hour was my top speed, so that's pretty good. 0 to 10 miles per hour in 1.32 seconds, 0 to 20 in 2.86 seconds, 0 to 30 in 5.05 seconds, and then 0 to 40 in 9.39 seconds. It did take a while to get up to the 43 mile per hour top speed. It was 17.80 seconds, but to the stated 42 miles per hour, it was 13.87 seconds. So not too bad.
All right, we're gonna keep riding. At our next stop, we're gonna talk about the things that we love about this scooter. Andrew, what are your favorite things?
It's a NAMI, so it's really well constructed, looks industrial, just looks unique.
And when he says industrial, it's kind of got this very futuristic design, has hints of the Bernie, but slightly different with the more angular tubes.
Sine wave controllers always makes for an ultra smooth ride, so I can control it and go 9 miles per hour with no problems at all. Logan hydraulic brakes are very high quality brakes compared to Zoom and nut brake. The display has been improved from the previous version of the Bernie. It doesn't get washed out in direct sunlight, so I like that they fixed that issue. I like that though tires are a little bit wider. So a lot of these 10-inch scooters, they put 10 by 2.5-inch tires, but these are 10 by 3-inch street tires. I like that extra half inch. It really helps with stability of the scooter. The front light is really bright. I do wish the beam had a little bit higher and lower spread. Overall, for 10-inch electric scooters, this is probably the best light that we've seen on them.
Yeah, and speaking about lights, I do like how bright the LEDs are on that handle, and the handle is very handy.
I love adjustable suspension on scooters. I wish that all scooters came with it. It gives you the opportunity to dial it in for whatever type of terrain you're riding on.
I love a good kickstand, and it seems like recently we've had several high-end scooters come with low-end kickstands. This is a high-end kickstand. It's got a good action, it's not loud, it doesn't rattle. It does a great job holding up the scooter. I love the fact that this has turn signals. Really bright, really easy to see, but the thing that I don't like, there's no turn signals in front, and that's kind of a bummer. One of the things that I really do like about this scooter that we don't see in a lot of scooters is the fact that it has memory, which means whatever settings you have it dialed in when you last rode, even after turning it off, it'll still remember it when you turn it back on. And a lot of scooters, they don't do that. They'll just forget and start you off at mode 1.
The NFC card reader makes it nice for extra added security. I love that the scooter comes with a 5-amp charger. A lot of these 10-inch scooters come with maybe a 2-amp charger, so it takes forever to charge it. Whether you get the 25-amp-hour scooter, it's only going to take you 5 hours to charge from empty to full, or the 30-amp-hour is going to take you 6 hours to charge from empty to full.
Huge bonus with that fast charger coming stock with the scooter. What do you call these things here? These sliders?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoy those sliders. I like keeping my nice things nice. If the scooter were to get bumped or tip over, or in the event of a crash, these sliders will help protect the body.
And the scooter has great clearance. It's really high, so it's going to be perfect for off-roading if you're trying to clear rocks and obstacles.
And I love how this scooter feels so solid. Jumping, drops, just doesn't make any noise. It's very quiet, very solid, very well constructed. At our next stop, we're going to talk about the things that we don't like about this NAMI.
The front fender, as you can see, it sucks. My whole face got splashed with water, and it wasn't even that deep. It was maybe like 1.5 inches deep. It definitely needs to be a little bit bigger, as you can see, pretty exposed. Yeah, what about the back of me? What does my back look like?
Your back is dry. The front, not so much. Whoa, what the heck?
Those benches that we normally sit at are halfway covered in water.
See that bench right there? Those benches, that's where we sit and have picnics often. And it's all underwater. I guess something happened to the handlebars.
I tightened it pretty tight and it ended up slipping on me. The whole time I've been riding, it's been perfectly fine. When I hit the bottom of that ditch, it kind of got stuck and turned the handlebars. I would have liked for them to have a little bit of grooves at the top just so there's something to bite onto, so you don't have any issues with your handlebars moving on you.
This section right here clamps around a smooth surface. And because it's smooth, it's tough to get the friction and the tightness needed to keep it steady. Things get twisted and jostled, and it actually turned out of place.
But this is also a good reminder to always carry tools with you.
That is one of the things that I do like. NAMI did include some high quality tools. Let's take a break, talk about the things that we don't like about the scooter.
The front fender, it's gonna spray water all over you when you hit puddles. I wish this control module for the lights and the horn was on the left side. The reason being is it took me a lot to get this brake lever to the position I wanted. It was blocking it. I don't really love to have to control the turn signals when I'm trying to accelerate at the same time.
Normally, these controls are on the other side, but because we have this module here, that would make it too busy. So we've put both the NFC reader and these controls for the light, turn signals, horn. It's on this side. And yeah, it just gets a little busy there.
They should either put a rubber collar around this light or either have it not pre-installed. It left quite a bit of scratches on here. For me, I don't worry about it too much, but I know a lot of people hate it when their brand new scooter that they spent over a couple $1,000s for comes with scratches on it. The cable management's done pretty well, but the front gets blocked out by these cables. So I feel like they could have done a better job of navigating the wire. And then the other thing is in the rear, they have some holes that have been tapped. It just looks unfinished. So either they should have not drilled the holes or found something to cover these up.
The throttle has a fair amount of dead zone where it's not going to engage the motors.
Yeah, it is obnoxious. I've gotten used to it. For me, I'm typically just mashing down on the throttle, so it's not as big of an issue.
The other problem was because you have this, the stem clamping down on the steering pole, which is a smooth surface, it did slip on us a little bit. Now we've tightened it even more and we haven't had any problems since then, so hopefully that is fixed.
Yeah, and speaking about this area, there's nothing to lock the scooter into place when folded, so it's not the most portable scooter.
And the feature that I appreciate most is having a key or an NFC reader. And so this has the NFC reader on Androids like Samsung, so you can program your phone to be that physical key. But for Apple users like myself, we can't do that. Those are the things that we don't like about it. We're gonna hit the road. While we're riding, we're gonna talk about who we think should get this scooter. All right, Andrew, who do you think should get this scooter?
I think this is a perfect scooter for people who love the NAMI Max 2 but can't afford it and want something a lot more nimble.
This scooter is perfect for two types of people. Number one of my favorite YouTubers, MKBHD, he always says matte black everything. So if you like matte black things, this scooter looks rugged and tough, and it's got that matte black finish. Number two, if you want something powerful, but you don't want to spend the money or you don't want something so heavy, this is like the NAMI Max 2 Lights. Check out our full written review at gotscooter.com. Thanks for watching, and when you guys ride, wear your safety gear.